Welcome back, everyone. So, some interesting points of analysis. If you're familiar with the basics, I'll go over a few points. So, Barbie was originally created by Ruth Handler, but it was sold to Mattel, which instantly became a huge hit when they released it, catapulting Mattel to, amazing heights. The premier toy company of the US. Partly to do with a great product at the right time, great marketing strategies. Many people study Mattel even today. So, she's progressed a lot over the eras. But with this movie that they wanted to make, they do recognize that a lot of the fans of Barbie were people who played with Barbies as children and are now wanting to see this movie partly for nostalgia factor, but because times have changed, people have grown up a lot, common sort of modern discourse surrounding Barbies and toys and women and so on has changed. They are perhaps reflecting the opinions of older women who bought Barbies, and men as well, who bought Barbies and played with Barbies when they were young. So, could we see that perhaps as a clever marketing strategy? Do they really care about these issues that they are attempting to discuss in the movie? Or is this just yet another of Mattel's amazing marketing strategies? Because I think everyone must know by now that Barbie is the highest grossing movie ever.
Ever?
Yeah, I think it had the best opening weekend of a female-directed movie ever.
Yes.
But then it continued to sell and sell and sell, and now it's the highest.
I did not know
It's made the most
that,
money of
actually.
any movie ever.
I knew the first one. I didn't know the highest grossing of all time.
Yes. So.
Ooh, some bars to jump over. What is that?
And they've set a new bar.
There we go.
They've set a new bar for all other movies. So it obviously resonated with quite a lot of people, and it got a lot of great reviews as well. But if I was going to add my 2 cents to it, I would argue.
Give me the 2 cents. There we go.
I don't know if this really is a feminist movie. I think it's a version of feminism preferred by mostly white people. It still puts white women at the front and center, white women and white men at the front and center. Everybody else is just the supporting cast. It ignores diversity. Yes, we have Black Barbie and Latin Barbie and so on, but they're just different skin-colored copies of white Barbie. So it makes no attempt to engage with intersectional feminism. Also, the basic premise of sort of switching the gender roles, having the female characters as the workers and the male ones as the pretty arm candy, isn't really the goal of feminism, I would say. It's hilarious. It works as a great joke. But I don't know if this perhaps counts as a truly modern feminist movie. Anyway, you'll have to add your 2 cents to this debate and discussion. That's just my opinion. And let's get into a few more questions. So what do you think about Barbie? Do you think she's a good role model for women and girls?
I mean, we've heard the argument that, I've heard a lot of arguments about Barbie being an ideal that cannot be attained. Also, of course, the original Barbie was didn't have any sort of occupation.
She was a model.
Oh, she was a model. Okay, I see. It didn't have any occupation that was considered non-feminine at the time. Of course, they've expanded over the years. They've tried to get more inclusive and everything, but it does seem like always one step behind. Does that make sense? And it is for selling, which I still debate in my mind, is it bad to create something that will make money because it's a trend and it does still help maybe influence in a good way people or children? Or should it be done only for altruistic motivations? Like what is the true motivation, and does the motivation matter? If some girl plays with, Space Barbie, Astronaut Barbie, and says, I want to do stuff in space, becomes the next person to, I don't know, find the black hole, image of the black hole, then maybe that was like a good influence, even though Mattel was just like, give me money. So I don't know. Is Barbie a good role model? For some people it is, and maybe some people it isn't. What, complication? Gray areas?
Yes, it is a complicated one. For me, it's still about the body image is the worst part of it. That yes, they do have plus-size Barbie, but if you actually look at plus-size Barbie,
still not.
She's
normal.
More, I'd call her more closer to normal-size Barbie. There is not much in the range of representation of other body types.
No.
Have you ever consumed media or products solely based on your own nostalgia for something? Have you made a nostalgia purchase?
It would be very rare for me to do that. I think most purchases I do are based on if I like it or not at the moment or in the moment. But there are a few things that I like, if they sold them, I'd be like, I might buy that. I know that I have wanted to purchase props from movies or replicas from movies that I really enjoyed as a child, including things like Star Wars, but those are usually like $2,000. So that's out of the question for me. But yeah, I couldn't think of one thing I bought from nostalgia. But you're the opposite.
I don't know. I was thinking they started to re-release a few of like old but iconic candies. Like, do you remember when Nerds got re-released? Again, it was something that...
They were discontinued?
They were discontinued for a long time, well, at least in the UK. And then a few years ago, when they came back, I was like,
buying all the Nerds.
And obviously, they're kind of awful, but
yeah, they are.
It was pure nostalgia value.
Okay, all right.
I do a lot of nostalgic things, but I go back to the original, like old movies, old TV shows. Even though
you go back to the original.
It's not great, but it gives me a great feeling because I remember it greatly as a kid.
Yeah. Have you ever watched a movie? This is not a question on the article, but I'm curious. Have you ever watched a movie that you haven't seen for a long time? You turn it on and you're like, I wish I would have let this live in my memory as a good memory, and now it's ruined.
Yes. I think it was, the most striking was He-Man.
Oh.
The He-Man cartoon is absolutely terrible. And Thundercats as well. I loved it when I was a kid. It is the worst, plotless, jerky, cheap. Oh, no.
Does make good memes, though.
Yeah, that was a mistake. I wish I'd left it in the past.
Yeah. So it just leaves some things in the past and some things don't. Yeah. But Barbie does seem to be in the past still.
Yes.
In some ways.
Yeah. 20 years behind the current feminist trends, I think. But a good try, maybe. Good try.
Oh, obviously, it grows so much money. They're happy.
Margot Robbie's laughing. Anyway, we should put away our toys for now and take a look at the vocabulary and make them our new toys. Take an introspective look at the vocab list, and we'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.
Resonate.
Resonate.
Masterstroke.
Masterstroke.
Adversary.
Adversary.
Introspective.
Introspective.
Astutely.
Astutely.